Get the face. Oh man. Hopefully this will work. Howdy folks, it is the 5th of October, the 5th of November rather, I can't even remember. My birthday is yesterday, so I should know what month it is. Anyway, I've been meaning to get to this for a while, but time hasn't been there, of course. See my last video about my poor explanations and excuses for not getting out there, but I'm going to do a little tutorial on one of my favorite cameras ever, the Panasonic FZ-50. I've done a couple of videos with it in the past, and maybe I'll put the links up in the screen somewhere if I'm feeling fancy and up to it. Either way, they're on my channel if you go look for my channel, if you care at all. There's some on there. Anyway, I'm going to start with the basics because I'm not thinking that I'm going to even take pictures with this today for this tutorial. So you're going to turn your camera up on the top, pretty natural. I haven't playback right now, but actually I want to be in playback because the first thing you should do when you get this camera, if you have one, or any camera for that matter, this applies to any digital camera, make sure that you take out your SD card, or if it's the new one that works with this camera anyway, format your SD card. And what that means is it gets the camera and the SD card communicating properly. If you don't do this, you might lose out on some great memories and images that won't be there again because every moment is fleeting in this life. So anyway, let's see here. How am I going to do this? I think I'll rearrange the camera angle here. Okie dokie. So I'm in playback right now, like I said, indicated by the arrow and the rectangle there. You have to be in playback on this Panasonic to format the card. I have pictures on this card, as you can see right now. So I am not going to officially format it, but I'll show you the steps that you would take to get to that point. So we're in playback now. You go to menu, which is right here, menu, and now you have a set of options. All right, let's see here. I don't want any of those things. I don't want a slideshow because it takes a battery power. Format. So to do this, you would go to format, and on your little command dial thing here, which shows the right arrow, you would push over because on the menu it shows over on the little arrow. Pretty easy. So of course I'm going to say no, but if you did have images on your card or images you didn't care about or a new card, either way, you'd format that sucker and it would take moments to do. So of course I'm going to not decide to format the card, and I'm just going to press the shutter. Maybe that won't work with this. Okay. Sometimes that works. So let's just press set or OK for no. Okay, so I still have my images. And what I'm going to do is go to a different menu option here. This is really well executed today as far as my recording techniques with my phone. Let's go back to playback and make sure I have these images because I got some great images yesterday. The second thing I would do if I picked up one of these beasts, and it also applies to many other cameras, of course, but I would just get to know the camera because, trust me, when you get out there and you just want the shot, the last thing you want to do is start to learn your camera. And by learning the camera, I just mean like how it feels in your hand, how you want to hold the camera. You know, does it have a flip out screen like this beauty does? What else? How does it zoom? How do you crop? You know, how does it just operate? What do the side buttons do? You need to know all these things because with cameras like this, there's a lot of stuff you can push and will definitely impact your images for the better or for the worse. So maybe if you like to take chances, then don't learn the camera, just go out there. But me, because every mode's fleeting and the light and the composition and just the ambience of the area, it's all unique for every moment. So if you want that moment, know your camera first because you'll be happier that way. So yeah, just know your camera. Turn the rascal on, you know. Again, the power button's up here. What should I say about that? You know, go through the menus. Let's see here. This thing's a little slow because it's old, but I need to be in a different thing. This might help. Oh, come on. Yeah, this thing is slow. Oh, anyway, okay. Finally, get to know your menus, you know? Let's see here. Can you see that? Get to know your menus. You know, white balance, sensitivity, blah, 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 blah. All those things. Maybe that doesn't matter to you right away. But just get to know your menus. Get to know your top dial, your command dial on top, what each thing means. You know, M stands for manual, S stands for shutter priority, A stands for aperture priority, and P stands for program mode, which is basically auto with a bit more override for exposure parameters, like ISO and I think metering. Just get to know your camera. Are you ready for the third most important thing to keep in mind before, you know, you get out there with this beautiful camera and any camera? This is more of a general video again, but this camera is so gosh darn gorgeous. Look at those angles. I mean, yeah, this camera was designed by a genius. Anyway, the third thing that you need to know before you get out with this rascal is having the passion just to get out there. Why go out if you don't feel like it? When you're at the camera, it should be a memorable experience, in my opinion. There should be joy in your heart. You should have some ambition and some goal. You should be driven to get out there because that makes the camera that much more connected to you. I can't tell you how many times I've taken out cameras that I don't really honestly give a shit about, or don't feel connected with, or don't feel motivated to go out with because I just don't like the piece of crap. But this camera, for example, I never feel bad going out this because I'm connected to this camera. So in a roundabout way, be connected to the camera, be connected with the moment, and to get out there, just want to get out there, feel the motivation in all realms. You know, spiritual, physical, just want to be out there. So those are my top 3 tips to get started with the Panasonic Lumix FZ-50. And in my next video, I'll start to actually show you how I operate the camera. Everyone's going to do it differently because that's photography. And if everyone does what everyone else does, what's the point in even bothering? Like art in general, it's subjective. Anyway, I think I'm just in a really rambling mood today. So on that note of ambition and my interests, of course, I'm going to end it. Thank you for subscribing if you have, and if you haven't, please click that subscription button wherever it lies on this whole channel thing. I think I might have it try to run the whole video on the bottom right like all the pros do. Either way, hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it means something to you, and of course, until next time, get outside and get some fresh air. Adios, amigos. Now to get extreme.